Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching the world. It is the Who Are You series where we look at teams around League Two and we try to figure out exactly Colchester United FC, you're up. Let's get into it. The Who Are You series coming to a close here. One more next weekend for Newport County, and that's it. So I'm excited for this game for reasons that'll become apparent. If you haven't joined for a watch party, join us on Saturday morning in North America, 3 p.m. in Wales. If you are interested in the women's game, we're here for that and having fun with that one too. That one's starting again, morning 6 a.m. West Coast in North America, 2 p.m. over in the UK. Join us for that. We're having a lot of fun with it. Growing community, lots of fun. People taking, I was going to say something bad. Banter. That's what we have. So join us for that. Hit the subscribe button so you can follow along, find out when those videos are there. Hit the like and notification buttons and all that sort of stuff so that we let the algorithm gods know that we're here and we can keep adding to the mob, which has been fun so far. All right, so Colchester United, let's get into it. Who exactly are you? The U's from Colchester, Essex, England. The population, 130,245, and they play out of the Colchester Community Stadiums. That one opened in 2008, and they've got a capacity of 10,105, 3,596 being the attendance so far this year. Not the best. That puts them 15th overall in the league. Distance away from the racecourse, 238 miles, 383 kilometers. And if you're driving from Colchester, I guess, to the racecourse for this one, it'd be 4 hours and 35 minutes. And their turnover, well, it's unknown. Couldn't find it, so not entirely clear. Jumping into Colchester's history, the U's founded in 1937. They played their first 8 games in the Southern League before joining the EFL in what was then Division 3 South. Relegated and promoted, did that a total of 5 times. From 1960-61 until 1986-87. That's 5 times up, 5 times down, and 3 of them in a row. Right back down, right back up. So they've been a little bit of a yo-yo in their history. 1989, 1990, they slipped out of the EFL, bounced back in 91, 92, and then they added 2 more promotions after that, going from Tier 5 to Tier 2 in total, such that they were up into the championship in 2005, 2006. 2 seasons in the championship. That's their high water mark, being 10th in their first season in Tier 2. And we'll talk about a little bit about who helped manufacture that a little bit later in this video. They slowly meandered back down to League 2, joining in 2015-2016, and this is their 8th season in League 2. Honors, they've got 1 championship to their name. They have a Tier 5 championship in 1991-92. They have no cup wins involving at least the top 4 teams. They do have runner-ups as EFL trophy for the EFL trophy competition in 96-97. Their kit, I like it. This is how kits are supposed to be. Honor the badge, honor the history. And Macron's really becoming my favorite. A little bit biased as far as kits are concerned, but they always seem to be sharp, unique. They're not recycling similar brands or blands or blands. Let's call them blands. Similar blands, similar templates for other teams like Adidas and Nike have done around Europe. So the home and the way, what they should be, respectful of the badge and history. Blue and white for the homes, yellow and blue for the aways. I'd like to make the joke here and say that they look very Swedish, but they just don't have any finish. But as you'll see, that's not a problem when it comes to Colchester. They put the ball in the net. They're a scoring team. The problem is they just can't keep it out of their own, and we'll go after that. They also have that red third jersey, which makes sense. Their third jerseys, or their history of their away jerseys, have had red in the past. There's been some black, there's been some other colors, but red's been predominant, so it works to have it as a third jersey. Well done. Bookie odds had them 21st, just off of that at the moment, at 22nd. So the EFL Cup, August 9, they lost 3-0 to Cardiff City in the first round on pens. So that must have had some hope at the start of the season. I mean, you're taking on a championship club. You're doing it away. You end up going to penalties. So you would have thought, we're going to be all right. And it hasn't panned out for them. But they're out of the EFL Cup. The EFL Trophy, they qualified for the playoff rounds as Wrexham did after beating Cambridge United in Peterborough. They did lose to Tottenham U21s and then lost out in the first round of the knockouts, getting smashed by West Ham's U21 team 4-0. Their record for the last 5 games, 0 wins, 1 draw, 4 losses, 4 of those losses being in a row. They lost at home to Crawley Town 2-1, 38% possession, 2 shots on target, only 220 passes. That was a score they deserved. They shouldn't have taken that one according to the statistics, and a deserved result. They lost away to Doncaster 3-1. They were behind in every single statistical category except for shots on target. They had 7 to Doncaster 6. 262 passes, only 69% passing, another deserved result. They were then smashed by Barrow 4-1 at home. 2 goals of those coming after a red card in the 84th minute, so it was a little bit closer than the score indicates. They had a little bit more possession. They had more shots on target, 5 big chances to 2. 377 passes on 79% efficiency. So statistically, they played better. The stats actually say that they deserved to win up until that 84th minute and everything sort of fell apart. So a little bit of a case of struggling team just finding a way to lose, and maybe that's part of it is indicative of youth. They had a draw 1-1 with Sutton United at home, and remember Sutton United, their center backs are beasts, just giants that and the team as a whole tends to park the bus. And so a 1-1 game, the stats show that they did quite well in this one. They had 60% possession, but only 4 shots on target. Again, parking the bus and those big bodies in the way. But they were there sniffing around, just challenged to find a positive outcome in the end. It seems to me that Colchester either plays bad or they just find a way to lose. And that's sort of how their season's been going and dealing with the youth. And we'll see how this goes. Jumping to FotMob then and Football Reference for the statistics here and got them side by side. Go through the list, shots per 90 on target. They're 5th in the league. They're not bad as an offensive team. The goals per shots on target, could be doing a little bit better. I'm not going to call them stormtroopers and say that they're missing the net a lot. They're not. But they're not converting at a rate that they would like. Their shots against on target, and there you go, 113. That's last in the league. And when you've got a team where we get the most shots in the league and they give up the most, there could be a lot of fireworks going one way, depending on how that back line holds up. Save percentage, relatively close, 16th for them, 18th for us. Possession, relatively close, 12th to 16th. Accurate passes per match, we're a little bit better there, 9th to 15th. Not doing well for them on the accurate crosses per match. First for us, 18th for them. But when you look at these stats and you look even at the FotMob expected goals, they're ahead of Wrexham. They're just not converting quite as much, just missing some of that key play. But really, the death nail for Colchester United is their back line is like Notts County light. Bad. Just bad. Last match with Wrexham, you got to go a long way back. League One, February 22, 2005, a 2-2 draw at the Racecourse, 6,871 days ago, 18 years and almost 10 months. We entered into financial administration that year, and we were deducted 10 points for it. I'll put the link down below. You can read that article. Fans paid 20,000 quid to cover the appeal for that, and we would not have been relegated that year if not for the 10-point deduction. We would have been 2 points clear. And that year, Colchester finished with 59 points. Connections to Wrexham, well, we've got a handful of them. We've got Elliot Lee, Ben Tozer, and Phil Parkinson. For Parky, he started his career with Colchester. And if you recall that discussion about that promotion to the championship back in 2005, 2006, that was with Parky at the helm. And we have a connection going the other way. Colchester, Fikra Kelleher, heart of the defense. He had 42 appearances in the year that Rob and Ryan purchased the club in 2020, 2021. He was released the summer afterwards, not retained at this end of the season. He bounced around since there, played at Solihull Moors, played Bradford City, and now he's got 24 games under his belt playing for Colchester. And in the last match, he was given the captain's armband. For Colchester last year, 12 wins, 13 draws, 20 losses, and that put them on 49 points. They were actually in the relegation zone between weeks 14 and weeks 18, and then they got close again, falling. They had 4 losses in a row between weeks 33 and 36, and then draw, win, draw, win, pulled them back out to safety. And so last season heroics that allowed them to be able to stay in League Two and avoid the relegation. The gaffer, Matthew Etherington, had a brief stint with Crawley Town, but really this is his first time. He joined Colchester to lead the U21 team. 2 months ago, he became the interim coach, the caretaker anyway, and then he took over November 15th. The team hasn't won since he became the permanent coach, but they did take 10 points from their first 4 matches when he was the interim coach. So they played for him while he was searching for the job. Now that he's got it, it's just not turning out. Look, team stats, I'm going to jump into it, but this one's fascinating because the team is so young. They have 6 regulars that are 24 and under, and so that means footy stats not going to be an option. So we're going to have to jump through their regular stats. But as I said, this is a team, they are the worst in League 2 in goals against, but 13th in goals for. So they definitely have some players up front. Taylor, Fevrier, Reed come to mind, and we'll walk through them here and demonstrate that they've got some good stats, the young guys doing their thing. But man, does it fall apart in the back end, and some of that attributable to injury. Up at the forwards, already said his name, Joseph Taylor, 20-year-old on loan from Luton, 1,566 minutes. He's their leading scorer. He's got 9 goals. He's chipped in 2 assists, 91% in expected goals, 91% in the league in shots, and 95th in shots on target. He's having a comfortable little, I'm going to show you what I can do kind of year. 42 shots with the right foot, 8 from the left, and a whopping 36 from regular play with only 4 from the corner and 3 from set pieces. So you think you know how he's going to try to find the net, and that's with his foot, and especially the right. Joining him up front most frequently, Samson Tovid, I don't know. 1,193 minutes. He's got 4 goals. He started the last game. It demonstrates sort of that this is a one-man show with Taylor up there. His stats not what you'd like to get. 68th percentile in shots, 61st percentile in shots on target. So you'd like to get a little bit more out of him. And as a comparison here, I've got Ollie up here, 1,295 minutes for him. So essentially the same as Samson. And Ollie, 88th percentile in shots, 81st in shots on target. In the midfield, Jaden Fevrier, already mentioned him. This is some impressive stuff here. 1,629 minutes. He's played as a mid. He's played as a forward. Here's the shocker. 97th percentile in the league in chances created. And I'll compare that with another Wrexham player down at the bottom because it is impressive. You know what? Let's do it now. Bring up Elliot Lee's numbers and see how impressive Fevrier is. Lee is in the 94th percentile in the league in chances created. So Fevrier topping him, and 71% in pass accuracy. So Fevrier, no joke. That's what those numbers tell me. Joining him in the midfield, Arthur Reed, 24, 1,596 minutes. We're seeing a theme here, 94th percentile in chances created, 96th percentile in successful crosses. So where Fevrier connects through the middle with passes and all by his foot, Reed does the work, it seems, on the wings. Solid numbers. Again, unexpected from a team that's at the bottom of the table. Cameron McGeehan, 28, 1,245 minutes. He's played as a mid and as a defender, most recently in the midfield. He's got some gaps in his possession stats and his defensive stats. He doesn't have the same service skills as the other players on the team, but it's tough to decide really what to show. But what is impressive about him is his aerial game. And so just looking at his stats, his percentage of aerial duels won, he's sitting in the 83rd percentile. That's rather impressive. Joining them now, it starts to get a little bit weaker. Question the depth. We've hit some power punchers. Now things start to get a little bit ugly as you go through it. William Greenidge, 21, 939 minutes. Somewhat similar to McGeehan, except very weak in passing, shots, crosses, dribbling. He's not getting a lot of touches. But again, big percentages when it comes to his aerial duels won. So good through the air there, but weak sort of everywhere else. Noah Chilvers, 22, 1,629 minutes. Lots of great passing volume, 93rd percentile in the league, but a decline in accuracy. 93rd percentile still in chances created, so not quite as solid as Fevrier, but doing the job and getting the ball into the dangerous areas. Matt J, the only reason I mention him, he played in the last one 185 minutes, not enough minutes to really compare and see what he's doing, but we've done the comparison. They've got one really strong player in the front, they've got 3-ish in the midfield, and so that is an area of strength, and now it falls apart, their back line. Mandela Egbo, he plays mid and defender, but he's been playing more as a defender recently. 26, 1,632 minutes. He's not good. Tackle percentage, 39%. Duels won, 38. Aerials won, 28%. That's not who you want eating up 1,632 minutes. Fikra Kelleher, he's only had 279 minutes. The 27-year-old former Wrexham man, not a lot of stats to go on, so I went through to his per 90, and he's not really having the most exceptional season either. 22% in duels percentage won, 43% in aerial duels in the league. It's just, You'd want better from your back line. Zach Mitchell, 18. He's been chewing up a lot of minutes at 18, 1,380 minutes. A little bit better. Tackles won percentage. He's 60th percentile in the league, so doing all right compared to the others. But then you look at his duels won, 21st percentile, and his aerial duels won, 10th percentile. That's not good when that's who you're relying on for 1,380 minutes and Agbo for 1,632. Tom Dallison, he's been having a couple of games, 738 minutes. Again, the same issue. Tackles won, 11th percentile in the league. Duels won, 6th percentile in the league. Aerial duels won, 15th percentile in the league. That back line is just dangerous. And when you take a team that gets a lot of shots, I don't know how this one's going to turn out. It could be a shot fest, and we'll talk about that in a second. They are missing Connor Hall, 30-year-old, normally their captain, 1,385 minutes. He's had a hernia surgery in mid-November. They said 3 to 4 weeks, so that's on the cusp of him coming back. So we'll see. Better stats, 44th percentile in tackles won, 62nd percentile in duels won, 59th percentile in aerial duels won. And for a comparison, that's Tom O'Connor like. And you look at his numbers, tackles won 49%, duels won 63, aerial duels 54. That's pretty bloody close and gives you an idea as to what they're missing. That's their best that they got on the back line, and they're missing it. The goaltending story, fascinating, and I'm absolutely here for it. I wish Ogonkwo was healthy. The reason being, Ogonkwo is a potential Nigerian goalkeeper of the future. Who's his competition, or one of two of his competition? Owen Goodman. Now, Owen also has the ability to play for England, and he's currently with their U20s. Owen Goodman also has the capacity to play for Canada, having been born and raised in Ontario. Raised in Ontario. Born in England, raised in Canada, qualifies for Nigeria by way of his father. And so you've got two big Nigerian goalkeepers. Ogonkwo 6'6", Goodman 6'4". You'd think Goodman may have a nod at the moment, actually. I mean, he's playing for England. Ogonkwo not, and both Nigeria sniffing around, but haven't brought them over. It is pretty... They're on similar paths. Ogonkwo just 1 year older. And so looking at the statistics and just the comparison, Ogonkwo does seem to have the edge. His save percentage, 77.8% to Goodman's 66.7%. Clean sheets, goals conceded, goals prevented, Ogonkwo ahead, but then you have to remember he's had some help up front to help him get to those statistics. I really am excited to see Goodman. Crystal Palace loan down into a League Two team fits the bill for those young goalkeepers getting a shot and an opportunity with those clubs. And what I'm hoping for this one, I'm hoping he faces like 40, 45 shots and he puts on an absolutely glorious performance, and then he gets capped by Canada right away and they steal him away from England and Nigeria, and that's that. That's what I'm hoping for. Of course, one of them will sneak by and a 1-0 Wrexham win. So comparing Colchester to a North American team as well as to the food one's easy. It's got to be an energy drink. Call it a Red Bull, call it a Monster, call it whatever you will. Young guys, lots of leg, lots of energy. They're going to go out there and they're going to have a run. They've got lots of power up front, but man, when that energy drink fades out, it's just a crash. And that defensive gaping hole in the back may end up being a problem. We'll see how it goes. As to a sports team, and I didn't pick one out before, so let's pick out, you know what, grab a team that you think offensive. You know what, this season, I'll give you the team. It's my team, the Vancouver Canucks. Leading the league in offensive prowess. Struggling a little bit on that back line, but we've got an all-world goalkeeper. So I'm just going to leave it there. Colchester, the Vancouver Canucks. Look, that's going to wrap that one up. We got one more. Newport's the only one left to do. We'll have to replay the Harrogate later one, and then we're on to the Deja Vu series. Don't forget the watch party. Come and check it out. Hit the subscribe button while you're here. It's free. it allows the algorithm and YouTube to know that this stuff is good stuff. Hit the like button, share, so the algorithm gods trigger everything. More people get to see this. You get to follow along with the journey. And we will see you Saturday, right? That's about as good as I can do. Is that riz? Is that flirting? Is that desperation? I don't know. You decide. Come in, mock me, have a chat with me. We'll see you Saturday. Have a good one. This has been the Red Horde. Cheers.